Hello everybody, Starvin Martian here, and today we're going to continue our look at the Mars Attacks trading card series, stretching back from 1962 all the way up to 2017. We've already looked at the original 55 cards from 1962, and so today we're jumping all the way up to 1994. Or actually, we're going to take a step back, believe it or not, to 1989. Back in 89, they were going to re-release the Mars Attacks card series along with some extra cards, and they commissioned the painting of 11 cards, many of which were based on unused concepts that were sketched for the original series, but not actually made into card form. And so these cards were commissioned, they were drawn, but sadly the '89 reprint never happened. But they were included in the 1994 Mars Attacks Archives. What I'm holding up right now is Mars Attacks Archives title card, otherwise known as card number 0. The Martian depicted on there, the design that they used for him, is taken from the wax wrapper for the original Mars Attacks card set. Um, so that's what the Martian on the wrapper looked like. And so this card here is card number 0, and it's also a title card. It's got some nice artwork on the back. I like that Martian there. Very cool. And this is a title card. It tells you everything that is found in the Mars Attacks Archives card set, including this one, title card, the Classic 55, which we've already looked at, the Unpublished 11, which we'll be seeing today, and then later we'll be taking a look also at Mars Attacks, the comics, and Visions New and Original. So that's something to look forward to. But for now, we're going to take a look just at the Unpublished 11, as they're called. These are numbered cards 56 through 66. The original set, obviously, going up to card 55. So this is the Garden of Peace. This card shows Martian society before the Mars-Earth conflicts. And you notice that the Martians here have an extra eye stalk coming off the top of their head. This is the card version of the Payex, as we'll know them in the Topps comics. And I've done a review of the Topps comics. If you want to see that, you could just click on the name, Starvin Martian. You'll find my Mars Attacks the Comics reviews. I do like the way this little kid here is about to get the Varia suit upgrade. That's pretty cool. So the Garden of Peace. 57 is Late Night Discovery. This is an interesting card. This card is not based on unpublished material, as the Unpublished 11 title would have you to believe. Rather, it's an homage to a cover of a comic book called Weird Science. Not obviously related to the '80s movie, but there was a comic book back in the day called Weird Science. It's kind of one of those Tales from the Crypt sort of deals. And the alien featured on one of the covers was an inspiration for the look of the Martians. And so this card here is an homage to that original cover. Card 58, The Last Picture Show. And so, yeah, that's the Martians attacking a screening of Dr. No, first James Bond movie. You know, and this one guy up front, it's bad enough when your popcorn's burnt, but, you know, he's not doing well at all, so. Card 59 is called Blasted into Oblivion. This is a rather gruesome image. And I have seen the sketches of this one. This was actually supposed to be in the original 55, but it was just too gory. And you could kind of see why. This guy's ropey entrails leaking out here, and this guy here looks suitably terrified, as I believe most of us would be. Card number 60 is Unspeakable Experiments. And everyone on this card is in their underwear. The lady's in her underwear, the Martians are in their underwear. It's a big old underpants party going on here. Oh yeah, also they're pulling this guy's intestines out while he's still alive. Another card that was sketched for the 1962 set and never painted for obvious reasons. I mean, they wouldn't even let the ladies in the original 55 card set wear nightgowns that expose their shoulders. So this was never going to pass. Card 61 is called Flight of the Doomed. Nothing particularly shocking about this card. I imagine it just didn't make the final cut because there were more interesting cards to do. They did a whole lot of sketches for the card set, and just because something got left out of the final set doesn't mean that it was, too graphic. It was just they had to pick the best of the ideas. In fact, after these 11 cards here, there'll be further cards in future card series still based on unused concepts. So there's a lot of concepts for the original cards that just never made it. I like this one, Last Licks. I think this is a case where, it would have been less effective if you had shown the gory aftermath. You saw this kid with her poor little, brains beaten in. I think the threat here, the knowledge that she's got maybe 5 seconds to live, is more effective than, seeing the Martian actually kill her. But I do like this card. It's a nice full body shot of a Martian. Really good, image of him there. Of course, this kid's real problem is she's got this creepy doll here. This is the one that the Annabelle doll is based off of. Card 63 is, oops, let me tilt it up right, there we go, Common Cause. Yeah, I kind of wish this card was published back in the 60s. I think it would have been a little more relevant. But, be that as it may, it's a nice headache for that alien there. And the description on the back of the card is, amuses me a little bit. Let's see, before the Martian invasion, warring gangs roamed the streets of New York City. Bloodshed was common sight as factions clashed for no reason other than the color of their skin. Being the wrong color or the wrong side of the street brought tensions which boiled over. When the Martians attacked, the gangs realized that there no longer was a right or wrong side of the street. A truce brought about by the gang leaders united all the gangs, regardless of race or color, against a common threat: the destruction of the human race by Martian invasion forces. And the only reason I think that's humorous is because it almost perfectly sums up the plot of Mars Attacks the Transformers, which is a comic later published by IDW. Card 64, Slaughter in the Streets. I've told you before, and I'll be saying it again and again, Mars hates dogs. This poor kid there sitting crying next to his dead dog. If it helps, kid, you probably won't be alive too much longer to mourn him. Card 65, The Naked and the Dead. Again, this is a card that was sketched, and I don't know why they bothered, because there was no way this was getting past censors back in the day. But here's some naked ladies with some conveniently placed steam. And, as a adult American male, I should be focusing on the naked redhead there, but I just can't help but stare at the duck-billed bug there. It's just so hilarious to me. And finally, card 66, Earth Triumphant. That's right, guys. Plant the American flag on Mars before you blow it up. That's patriotic. And is it just me, or is that building in the background look an awful lot like the towers in the back of that famous VHS cover of The Little Mermaid? Anywho, so that's the unpublished 11. The 11 trading cards from Mars Attacks, the archive set from 1994. Mars Attack Archives is a good card set. I think it's a nice addition to the Mars Attacks trading cards that they gave us in 1955. I'm sorry, 1962. There were 55 cards in 62. I think it's a little presumptuous to actually label these cards 56 through 66 as if they're a continuation, but otherwise the art's good. The cards are worth having in your collection. I would track them down if I were you. If you're a Mars Attacks fan, if you already have the original 55, these are a good addition to that. So next time around, we're going to be taking a look at cards 67 through 76, Mars Attacks the Comics, um, which focus on the comic books being produced by Topps at the time. So that'll be fun. And so if you haven't seen my review of the actual comic books, like I said, just click on the Starvin Martian name. You'll find them there. If you haven't seen my review of the trading cards, I've done the first 55 and also the trading card set based on the Mars Attacks movie from Tim Burton. And so just click on Starvin Martian and find the playlist for that as well. But until then, guys, this has been the Starving Martian. We'll catch you next time. Keep watching the skies.